What's going on, guys? Zach here, hanging out with a fellow entrepreneur, Connor Kenny. We've had a similar path. We found crypto at the same time, Connor, but I'm really curious, man. When did you start to get the idea of this 9 to 5 thing's not for me?
Mhm.
I want to live life on my own terms. And take us through some of the hurdles. I know there's been a lot. I mean, for
Yeah,
anybody
yeah.
who's turned out to be successful in anything they do as an entrepreneur, there's always these hurdles that you have to go through. But take us through the process, man. Just
I'll give you a quick bird's eye view on
100%,
the
yeah.
process. So about 10 years ago, I actually moved to Dubai, right? I'm a trained acrobat stuntman. That's my 9 to 5, my pastime. Right?
Yeah.
That's what I was doing. And we moved out there, and I was doing some shows. And during those shows, a couple of years in, actually, it was when crypto first really hit the media, right? We're talking 2017. So at the time, we were doing shows, and a couple of buddies, we were investing into Bitcoin at 3K. So we were backstage and we were investing into Bitcoin. We were playing with the Cardanos. I was actually on Binance buying Cardano the day it was listed on Binance.
Really?
So it was 400 sats because everything was denominated in Bitcoin. So we were buying it there, we were buying here and there. And honestly, it sounds like an amazing thing. But what happened was, and what happens to everyone, so if this is your first bull market, listen to these words. Like, I'm not some sort of messiah, but you're most likely going to get wrecked. But what you can do is you can take two options. You can learn from people like us who have been wrecked, or you can get wrecked yourself and then learn from that. Both of those options will probably end up with you making money if you stick around.
True.
Right? But everyone goes through this process of getting absolutely wrecked. So my process was, I was this kid backstage buying Bitcoin. And like, as an acrobat or someone, a general person who's not really into finances a lot, right? I've always been interested, but I'm not like a finance guy. And I'm making money. You know what I mean? The numbers, $3,000 into $75,000 in about 4 months, right?
Yeah.
During that bull run. And I've never seen money like that. Not that we saw it, it was on the internet. But I've never seen money like
Magic
that.
internet money.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I've never seen anything like that in my life. So at the time, I just thought this happens forever. It infinitely expands. So
right.
I'm at 75K next year, I'll be at 200K next year, I'll be at 400K, whatever, right? Infinitely expands. So I never took a penny of profit, right? All I did was parlay the trade into another trade at the full sized stack.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I just moved Bitcoin into Cardano, Cardano into ICX, ICX into VGX, all of these coins that were back then, right? I mean, a lot less to choose from. We just had people talking on Twitter, then it explodes like 1,000% the next day. It was a nuts time. But the one thing I learned from that was to control the emotion, right? So you take your profits when you see them and you leave a moon bag for if we go absolutely nuts. That way, if the price still goes up, you get exposure.
Yeah.
If the price goes down, you have your money back. At very least, always take your initial out. Always.
Let me ask you this. How did you find crypto? Did you just kind of stumble into it? I'm always curious how people kind of get it. Because sometimes it's just like, I was doing this or that. It's like, did you want to get on YouTube first? Was it the crypto thing first? What kind of sparked your excitement about the industry?
So it was actually my dad. He introduced me to Bitcoin at $300. He showed me the Google translate of the price, right? And it was $350 to be precise. I remember it. And he was mining Bitcoin, 1 Bitcoin per month on a little machine in his office. Yeah, and to tell another story, the fuse broke in the machine, in the plug, and the electricity was more expensive than $350. So he thought, just turn it off.
Yeah.
So he was the first one to introduce me to Bitcoin, and then from there, it stayed in my mind. A few years later, me and the buddies on the back of the shows, and then of course 2018 was where the bear market hit, and that was where that's where the journey really started.
Yeah.
You lost the money, you've been through your first bull market, you know what to expect.
Yeah.
And now it's time to build.
Yeah.
Now it's time, how do we figure out how to make a business on the internet? Yeah. You know what I mean? Because
did you have any other ventures before crypto? Like, did you have any failures along the way?
Not big failures, but as a kid, you guys have heard it 100 times. I was selling snacks at school, marking up the price. I was one of the first on eBay to be selling products that we shipped from China. So it was before drop shipping, but we shipped boxes of these, whatever it was, at the time. And then I used to sell them on eBay, made a little bit of money like that. Ended up getting stopped, a massive box get stopped in customs. So that cut that off short. And so we kept trying stuff, and I always wanted to do YouTube. So I always had my YouTube on the back burner. If you guys want to search my name, just search Connor Kenny. And it's been around since basically the first week or so that YouTube existed, right? Because, well, not existed, but Google Videos bought YouTube, and we used to upload to Google Videos. And then when they bought,
I remember you showing me some of those old videos. It's crazy.
So they became one, and then I always kind of just tested the water, and nothing ever worked really well until crypto. So the pandemic was the best thing that happened to me. I started an e-commerce business, started flipping Instagram pages, and I started investing into crypto. So all of those things at once.
You know, it's funny though now, because I know you and I have talked about this. Now that we've had some success on YouTube, it's so much easier to go and do another channel on something similar.
We know how it works.
We know how the algorithm works. We know how to gain a following. Because I remember first thing that I started with was like what books to read and different mindset things. Nobody cared. I was getting 0 views, and I remember I put at the time a Shiba Inu coin video out when it was peak. Woke up to like 4,000 views and 600 subs, and literally had that infamous conversation with myself, like in the mirror, like, "Okay, idiot, don't screw this up. Continue to do this every day."
Strike while the iron's hot.
Exactly. And but it's funny because I don't know if this was similar to you. I was never afraid to get on the camera. Was that a big hurdle for you? Because I think that's a big hurdle for a lot of people. Because I always say this, right? Anybody can create a YouTube channel. But this is the way I think about it. Because anybody's passionate about something. You have something to say about something that other people want to know about. So I mean, why not just click record and go? But I think the biggest hurdle for people is getting over that imagined audience and what people are going to think and what people are going to say, and I'm not good on camera. Was that a hurdle for you when you started?
Yes. It's a hurdle for everyone. I mean, there's videos of me, and you find yourself, we were actually talking about it, you're justifying your actions to the camera.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, hey guys, I'm making a video because I feel da-da-da-da-da. Sorry if I come across, and you're going through this process of like learning how to speak. And then it ends up just these cameras become a friend that you're talking to. You know what I mean? And you've got something you want to get off your chest. So if anyone does want to start a YouTube channel or start content creation, my advice is content creation and getting an audience is the number one thing you can do to change your life right now. Number one.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you can start a business, right, that has loads of bells and whistles and it becomes the next NVIDIA. Sure, maybe that happens. The chances of that are extremely low.
Yeah.
But with the platforms like TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, you've got right there 3 opportunities where you can just pump a video a day on every platform, right? Dedicate 2-3 hours a day, pump out the content. One of them blows up, you know what works. Test the water, test e-com, test football, test what you'd like to play cards, play cards. You like magic, do magic. We liked crypto, we did crypto, right? And that goes into how I had my YouTube channel. So I was doing different things always, and they never really picked up. I did traveling, I did diet, I did free running.
Yeah.
I did all of that, and it never really got any traction. And then, hey, do you know what? Let me try this entrepreneurial stuff because I'm doing it anyway.
Yeah.
So then I started doing that. How to grow social media. That was the first sort of little bit of views I got, and then the crypto stuff we got views, and then the key, like you said, is once you find something, double down. Don't keep trying to do everything else.
Niche down.
Find one thing that works and then just do it. I gave myself the goal, 1 video a day for a year.
Yeah.
I think it was 2021, right? And that was just before the bull run. 1 video a day for a year. We get to the end of the year, we just see whatever happens, happens. By April was when I hit my first 10,000 views overnight, like you just said.
Yeah.
And then it was just boom, boom. And it was a snowball that went insane.
You said something that's so important. One of the biggest mistakes I made early on as a trying entrepreneur, I guess you could say, is I would delegate like 20% to this thing over here, 20% to this thing over here. I had all these things working, but I never could give it 100% in one thing. But as soon as I found crypto, I dropped everything else and just went all in on that one thing. There'll be time later to pick other things back up. Like that's kind of where we are now, right? And now we're looking to diversify back out and maybe create other channels that we were genuinely interested in before the whole crypto thing happened. And now we have an audience, we know how things work. So yeah, man, I just remember early on it was frustrating because you'd feel a little bit of traction on some things, but it really does take 100% all in on something.
And it's time,
to go,
right?
Yeah.
When you first start, you put in all of your time, you get nothing out, you ride the wave, and then once you start to get the stuff out, then you make a little bit of money and you can buy back that time.
Yeah.
So we'd spend, on the actual making the videos a couple of hours a day. Before I spent 12 hours a day. Yeah. So I get to the point now, and the reason why I'm at that point is one, I've got better. I made a video every day for 4 years. It was 1 year, but now we're 4 years later.
For that long, you're going to get better.
Exactly. Right? So I got better and I hired a team. So I use the money it generates to hire a team. I free up my time, and now I can just do the same thing again. Maybe it's another channel, maybe it's a business. We have the boys sitting behind us here running an agency together. Yeah. We have a bunch of stuff happening, and you can do so much stuff when you have access.
One other point, this is kind of going on to what you said here, and then we'll wrap things up. By the way, guys, Connor's channel will be linked down below. Make sure you guys give him a follow here. But one of the things you mentioned that made me think of this is, and a friend of mine said this, Austin Hilton, who's in our space.
Yeah.
He said, the beautiful thing about what we do on YouTube is we are the marketing. And that really stuck with me, because if you have a great idea, you got to market it. You got to get it. You can have a great idea, but if you can't get people to care about it, or you can't get the word out, all you have is a great idea.
Exactly.
The beautiful position that we sit in is that we have, quote unquote, free traffic, as long as we show up every day. So I know you've done this, and a lot of us do, come up with these different product ideas, these different things that we can add value to our audiences with, whether they're products or services. We're the marketing. There's no cost other than our time making the videos. I don't know if you could speak to that, or just any of the uniqueness about YouTube.
Definitely. I mean, I've built probably, I think I'm on the third business at the moment, all about in that exact field. And those businesses actually have small mini businesses, you know, within communities, indicators, whatever it is, right? And then so I built out, you know, like a whole side business where you know, I help people basically achieve what I've done, because what I am at the end of the day is a digital nomad, right? I'm from England, but I no longer live in England. I don't reside there, so I have tax benefits. And you know, I thought, oh, there's tons of people who want this same sort of benefit. So what do? I have the attention. I find a partner. We have an idea. We build a business. I funnel the attention into the business. My partner, facilitates the transactions. And then we have this great synergy, right? And it all comes down to the fact that we have eyeballs. And then, 100%. So once you have those eyeballs, which anybody who's watching right now, if they dedicate some time and they choose a niche, can get. And we were saying, like, the key is the niche, right? It doesn't actually you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to think like, oh, I can't do X, Y, and Z because, you know, there's already a massive trade.
Big mistakes. Like, think, oh, there's too many people doing it. Like, YouTube's massive. It's global. Right?
And you can do exactly, like, take gaming, for example. You know, the guys who are the biggest in the gaming niche, they're big, not because of the gaming niche, because of their personality.
People like them.
They like them. So if they just like you, but you're doing the same game as, I don't know anyone, but you know, KSI. If you're doing the same game as KSI because it's big, watch him. Oh, he just started this new game. That's the one that has the eyeballs. And now you put your own twist on it. You say different things. You have a different personality. And then you can build yourself. And if you get 10% of KSI's size, you change your life forever. 100%. Or even 1%.
There are a lot of people who create Bitcoin content, but people go to your channel because they want to watch you talk about Bitcoin, right? And 100%. That's a big myth. I think it deters a lot of people from starting YouTube too. But man, this has been great. Thanks so much for popping on. I'll leave Connor's channel down below. Appreciate you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.